I read on the internet that our games have had a few bugs.
Yes, Todd. Only a few bugs.
Rare minerals.
So, you're thinking about playing Fallout 76, right? Maybe you've decided to give it another look. I mean, it has been almost 4 years since its initial release, so you might be curious about whether it's improved or not. Don't worry, it's not even close to what it was like when it first released all the way back in 2018.
I read on the internet that our games have had a few bugs.
I'm not saying it's a perfect game either, by the way. The multiplayer aspect of the game is a huge deal breaker for a lot of people, but with that being said, it's definitely improved quite a lot over the past 4 years or so. Now, you might be wondering, since it's a massive multiplayer online RPG, or MMORPG, can you actually play through this by yourself? Does Fallout 76 offer that classic Fallout single-player experience that we all know and love? Well, yes. At least for the most part, anyway. With Fallout 76 being an online multiplayer game, it allows you to explore the post-war apocalyptic wasteland of Appalachia with your friends. I wonder what that's like. But also with completely random strangers that you'll encounter on your journey across the wasteland, and of course, if you choose to, by yourself. Unlike previous entries in the series, Fallout 76 is built around a live service model, meaning that the game includes regular content updates, premium subscriptions, microtransactions, and cosmetics to purchase if you choose to do so. If you've never played Fallout 76 before, you might be under the impression that it's similar to previous games in the series. Well, while that's true for most parts, it's important to remember that this is an online multiplayer game, not a single-player game like previous entries. Everything you do in the game will take place on an online world, every single time. So you will need a constant internet connection to actually play this game. That alone might be a deal breaker for some of you, but unfortunately, as of right now, offline play just isn't a possibility. But what if that isn't an issue for you? How viable is the single player experience on offer here? Well, for the most part, you actually can play through Fallout 76 as a single player game. The vast majority of things you can do in this game can very easily be done and enjoyed as a solo player. There are some things that will require a team later on into the game, such as boss fights or high-level endgame activities, but for the most part, you can very easily play through this by yourself and enjoy that classic Fallout single-player experience. At no point are you forced to team up with anyone. Like I mentioned previously, certain situations will require you to join a team, but even then, it's extremely easy to do. Seriously, it's as easy as joining a public world, browsing the public teams tab, and, well, just joining a team. It really is that simple. For the vast majority of your time that you'll spend exploring in Fallout 76, you're able to traverse the wasteland of Appalachia all by yourself. There are a few unavoidable situations where you will have to interact with other players though. If you happen to be participating in one of the periodic public events that pop up all over the map, there's a good chance that you'll encounter other players. They're usually there to do the exact same thing as you and complete the public event. And most of the time, when the event is finished, you'll both go your separate ways anyway. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Of course, this does take away from the whole single player experience. There is a way to avoid this completely though, but bad news, it's gonna cost you your hard-earned money. You might have noticed me mention public worlds earlier on. Well, there's also an option to play on your very own private worlds. This is only offered as part of Fallout 76's premium subscription service known as Fallout First. For a monthly fee, you'll be able to host your very own private worlds that share progress between both the public and of course the private worlds. If you like the sound of private worlds, then great. But for now, if you're a brand new player, I'd highly suggest that you play the game first for a few hours just so you can get a rough idea of what the game is actually like. And if you're still interested in it after that, do some research into it first. That way you can make a clear decision on whether it's worth it for you or not. Going back quickly to what I was talking about earlier on, since Fallout 76 is an online multiplayer game, it does feature some of those elements that you would find in similar games. In the case of Fallout 76, there's a huge economy system present in this game that allows players to trade different items between themselves. Players also have the ability to build camps. It's a very similar feature to what was used in Fallout 4, but essentially it's a home base that players can fully customize to their liking. It can also act as a social space for players to hang out in, if you choose to do so. So again, keep that in mind. If you want to experience what this game fully has to offer, you will need to interact with other players at some point. But aside from those key points, you really are free to complete a plethora of missions, side quests, daily tasks and challenges, and pretty much uncover the map in all of its entirety without having to interact with any other players. So while Fallout 76 is very much an online game, you can very easily play through it as a solo player. Well, for the most part anyway. Anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and I've managed to help some of you out. If you're feeling particularly nice today, I really would appreciate it if you left a like on the video, and if you enjoy my content, maybe even subscribe. Cheers for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.